Just a minute.
Okay, sir.
बैग ले जाओ.
No, we saw about how to create different types of loads, right?
Yes, sir.
What we'll be saying is how to create active loads that will be acting on the building. So we are going to categorize dead load and live load. So that's what we were saying, and the day your internet stopped working. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now is it fine?
Yes, sir. Now it's fine, sir.
Okay. So screen visible now.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
So I'll just create a structure resembling the room that you are sitting right now.
Mm.
Okay. I'll just repeat it in translation. Repeat. Okay. I'm going to give some properties to it. I'll give the columns as zero point 0.5 cross zero point 0.3, 0.45 cross 2, will be like point. Just select. I give I give the zero point 0.3 cross zero point 0.3 section to the beams.
Okay.
Then I'll create the support. I'll create fixed support. One second, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
அது ஆயில் எங்க இல்லை இங்க கிடையாது அங்க கேட்டு பாருங்க ஸ்டாம்ப் பேப்பர் தானே அங்க கேட்டு பாருங்க now when we come to loads part, right? So like I said that day, first we have to mandatorily add the categories of load that are going to act here.
Mm.
I'll just name it as dead load, add, and then again you will add a new type of load,
Live.
that is live load.
Yes, sir.
I'll give the title as live. Click on add here. Okay, so once that is done, in the dead load category, you will add the sulfate for the structure. So first and foremost thing is to add the sulfate for the structure. Then click on add here. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
when you click on add, get the sulfate, assign that to the whole view.
Mm.
Okay, which means it will get assigned to both columns and beams. Now, when you are calculating the dead load, right, like you said that day,
Yes,
the
sir.
dead load, the dead load that will act on this beam is like sulfate of the beam as well as the sulfate of the wall. But right now we don't have a wall here. But even though we don't have a wall, we have to assume that there's a wall resting on the beam, and we have to give a dead load to it.
Okay.
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 So you have to calculate the dead load of the wall. You have to know the unit weight of the material you'll be using for
Mm.
constructing that particular wall. So in order to get the data of unit weight, what you'll do is you'll go to the code book called IS 45, IS 875.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You will have to refer to the code book called IS 875. That's what I was about to tell that day, and it got stuck there.
Mm.
So you have five parts here. So IS 875 part one is for dead load, part
Okay.
two is for live load, part three is for wind load, four and five are special cases loads like snow load and all that.
Okay.
So if you go to part one, right,
Mm.
I'll open part one. If you just scroll down, you can see that we would have studied a subject called construction materials. In that
Hmm.
subject,
Yes, sir.
we are supposed to learn about all these materials, but only certain materials will be taught to us since the semester time is very less.
Hmm.
So the unit weight of all the construction materials will be given here. Okay.
Okay.
So for example, just see here. So these are all shear walls, and if you see the brick wall here, you can see that the thickness is given here and the nominal load for it is given here. So weight or kilonewton in terms of load has been given here. So the you see here brick wall here, its thickness is 100 mm. So when I say 100 mm, it is like almost 10 centimeter. So that is zero point 0.9 inches walls. So for that, the load value is 1.91. Okay,
Hmm.
so it
Yes, sir.
is 1.91. You can either see it here, or if you see in the top itself, for brick alone, it will be separately given.
Okay.
For brick alone, the load will be given separately. You can see here. It will be in alphabetical order only. So you can see that the load value is given here. So we can take it as 18. So
Hmm.
we have what you have to do is you have to calculate the height of the wall. You have to multiply the height of the wall, thickness of the wall, and length of the wall. So you'll get the volume. The volume will multiply the unit weight. You'll get the self weight. So now this self weight that you get here will be for one whole wall. Okay, but
Hmm.
the wall will be exerting the load in the form of a UDL. So
Hmm.
when you
Yes, sir.
multiply that volume of the wall into unit weight into 18, you get the
Whole.
whole load of the wall.
Hmm. Yes, sir.
But here you have to apply that as a UDL only to the beam. So what you will do, you will have to divide that by the length of the beam. So in that case, you'll get the value as 13 kilonewton per meter per
Hmm.
meter. Okay,
Yes, sir.
you can just try it out. So what you'll do, go to member load here. We have already seen all these things.
Hmm.
In this member load, I'll give the value as minus 13. Okay,
Okay.
and assume that the load is going to act throughout the beam. So let all these values be 0, and then you'll click on OK here. Okay,
Hmm.
now select it, and then you'll select the beams. Wherever the walls are going to be there, you're going to select those beams,
Okay.
assign to, and then you'll give the value as assigned to selected beams. So
Hmm.
that load has been applied. So this is the dead load. And next thing is live load. So when I say live load, generally what we are being taught in college is that live load is something that we are live load. People living in that room are live load.
Hmm.
Furnitures are live load. It's not
Yes,
like
sir.
that. It doesn't work like that. Live load means it is based on the occupancy, the purpose for which that particular building will be used. That is what is called as live load. Okay.
Okay.
In that case, what we can do is live load means we have to what we have to do is uh, go to live load here. So you'll have code book called 875 part 2 here. So if you open that code book, na,
Hmm.
so this part 2. So the buildings are categorized based on the occupancy. So when I say occupancy, occupancy means a building or a part of a building, the purpose for which that part of a building or a building is used is called as occupancy.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
so that's what they will have defined it here. Okay, so you can see the definition for occupancy here. So they would have the principal occupancy for which a building or a part of a building is used or intended to be used is called as occupancy. Based on the occupancy, they are classifying the building as assembly building, and then
Okay.
they have classified it as business building,
Hmm.
dwellings, storage buildings, and all that. So right now, you're in a residential building.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes,
So in
sir.
that residential building, you can see that, see where the residential building category is there. So you can take this one, dwellings. So you can see that residential building will be given somewhere here. Yeah.
Hmm. Yes, sir.
So these are residential buildings. Now, if you scroll down, you can see that The rooms that a residential building will be having is listed out here. Generally, the rooms that a residential building will be having is being listed out here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now what we have to do is you can see that for each and every room. Right now you're sitting in a bedroom, right? So in that case, you have bedrooms. The load value is 2 kilonewton per. It will be given as meter square here. It will be given as meter square because it is a pressure load. But if you see on the top, you can see that it has been defined as a UDL. But the load that value that given is pressure. So you shouldn't get confused with that. So how you will apply that is select the live load category. Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Click on add here. And then you have something called floor load here.
Yes, sir.
So then you have something called floor load. So here you'll get that you'll give that value as a pressure value only. So you give that value as a pressure value only. So what I'll give the value as -2, like the way we saw. And we know the height of the floor. So along the Y range, we know the height of the floor along the Y range. So I'll give it as 4 meter, and then click on add here. So you needn't assign this; it will automatically get assigned like this.
Oh, yes, sir.
So it will be distributed in the two-way direction. If you want to see the value of the load, press Shift plus V here. So if you press that, you can see that it has been converted into a UDL. When it is acting to the beam, now it has been converted into a UDL, -4 kilonewton per meter square. Meter. Okay.
Yes, sir.
We gave the value as -2 kilonewton per meter square. Whereas when we applied it, when it is getting applied on the beam, it gets converted into a UDL. Here,
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
here, right?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Now, after this, what we do when you're manually calculating, after calculating all the loads from the given question and then you yourself calculate some loads, after calculating all that, what do you do generally in manual calculation?
We are defining the dimension of the member, sir.
No, that is already defined. After that, what do you do? Next step.
Yeah, we are going to calculate the moment and shear force on the member.
No, before that, you have calculated the loads individually. What do you do after that?
We have to multiply factor of safety.
Exactly, very good. So when you multiply factor of safety, what is the name of the load that we get?
General, what, sir?
After you multiply the factor of safety, what is the name of the load that you get? You get you name that something, no, that particular load after you multiply factor of safety. What is the load called as?
Yes, sorry, load, sir.
It is called as ultimate load. Okay.
Oh,
So after
yes,
you
sir,
multiply
yes, sir.
factor of safety, it is called as ultimate load.
Yes, sir,
So now where can we calculate that ultimate load? So you go to this load case details here on top. You go to this load case details on the top.
Okay.
Okay. That load case details, you'll click on add here. And the moment you click on add, you have something called define combinations.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll again repeat it. Go to load case details,
Okay.
click on add here, and then you have define combinations over here. In this, you bring in both the loads this side, and then you can give the factor of safety as 1.5.
Yes, sir.
Okay, for individual 1.5, and then you click on add here. So now the combination of loads also have been applied on this particular structure.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now what you'll do is you're going to analyze the structure. So right now, if you double click on this beam now, you cannot see the bending moment or here deflection here.
Okay.
You won't be able to see anything. Okay. So if you want to see that bending moment and deflection, what you'll do is you go to commands tab. So we're going to analyze the structure for the load that we have applied now. Okay. So you'll go to commands tab. In commands tab, you have analysis option. In that analysis, you'll go to perform analysis. And then you click on all here.
Okay.
Click on all. And then you click on OK. So now the command is given to analyze this particular structure. Now I have to analyze the structure. So for that, I'll go to analyze option here.
Okay.
In that analyze option, I'll go to run analysis. So after that, if I just run the analysis, you can see you should never get an error, but you can get warnings, but you shouldn't get an error. So if you want to see the output value, so click on this output view output file. and click on done here. So the moment you click on done, you'll get a window like this. So this is your complete analysis report, not the design report.
Hmm.
This is complete analysis report. So
Okay.
according to the loads that we have applied, it will show you at which point you have maximum deflection
Okay.
or displacement, sorry. So it says that along y-axis, you have a displacement of 7.87 into 10 to the power minus 20.
Hmm.
Okay, clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like this, you have the deflections listed here. So along x-axis where you have the maximum displacement, along y-axis where you have all that will be given. And
Okay.
the summation of forces will be given, reactions and all that is given here. Okay.
Hmm. Yes, sir.
Now what we are going to see is we are going to see the bending moment diagram. So if you double click on the beams, you can see that you have a new attribute called shear building.
Hmm.
So you can see the bending moment value here. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you can see the bending moment for different beams like this.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm. Yes, sir.
So if you want to see the deflection of a column, you can see the deflection of the column.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm. Yes, sir.
So this is called as application of loads and analysis. So try this. So we'll deal with designing tomorrow.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Sure, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah.